Hi, my name is Heather Carey. I am an instructor at BVU. The purpose of this recording is to review the agreement to excuse attendance at an IEP meeting. To excuse attendance at an IEP meeting, there is a process that allows required IEP team participants to be excused from attending an IEP team under certain conditions and with the written agreement or consent from the parent or parents and the LEA. So what you have to do is you need to go through the meeting. You're going to go through when you take attendance. And when you do that, there's a stair stepper. And so you click on the checkbox next to the participants needing to be excused. And it'll save. This is what it looks like right here. So you can mark in-person attendance, written input provided. So let's say there's a general education teacher. It's always best practice to have the general education teacher there. But if for some reason they can't be there, you can always interview a general education teacher and include that information within the IEP. They can be there via Zoom or Google Meet, whatever way you prefer to meet. You can mark video conferencing. And if they did not attend, then that's where you would mark that they did not attend. And then you would need to mark that we need that right here in this gray, print the notice. So we would need to make sure that we have that documented. So once each team member's attendance status has been updated, you can finalize the roll call by completing the complete button, and you'll print that excusal agreement needed. So here, print agreement to excuse. That is the part that you need to have there. Since May, teams can no longer indicate that the IEP meeting participants can be excused prior to the meeting. So when scheduling a meeting, we need to anticipate that all members will be at the IEP meeting. After the agreement to excuse attendance at an IEP meeting has been generated and achieved, the meeting status of the participant requiring excusal, like I stated, will be populated, and then you select those. Parents can sign either on paper or electronically. So if they decide to sign electronically, so then there's going to be these 3 dots, and then you'll see sign, and then you just do the add signatures. Of course, when it becomes time for you to do this, your AEA rep can help you do that. Agreements to excuse attendance at IEP meetings must be signed by both an IDEA parent and an agency representative. So that agency representative can be somebody from the school or an AEA rep. IDEA parents who have opted for interactive access in Achieve Family Portal may choose to do that electronically within their family portal. A printed copy of the agreement may be provided to IDEA parents for review. So if you print it, then you need to make sure that you change the status to approved and then upload it. So you'll always get help from your AEA rep when needed there. So let's see here. Required members include parents of the student, the general education teacher, a representative of the public agency. So you're going to need an LEA, an administrator. An administrator can say somebody else will be stepping in, but I typically always like to have them as they know the funding for the school. Special education teacher, an individual who can interpret evaluation results whenever appropriate, the child with a disability. I always had students from the very beginning attend as much as possible, even if it's to introduce themselves and what, their strengths, preference, interest, and needs. or, what they like to do. And then other individuals who have knowledge or expertise. And somebody can serve in more than one role. The special education teacher could also interpret evaluation results. In the case of an eligible individual who receives or is anticipated to receive AEA support services only. So if they only get speech services, that speech, they may be the one who serves as the agency representative. So instead of me as a consultant being there, the speech rep may fill that role. If the IEP will be implemented in a setting outside of the student's resident district, both the attending and the resident district should be represented at the IEP meeting. Make sure you invite both districts. For eligible individuals, IDEA regulations require parental consent before personally identifiable information is released between a local district LEA and the AEA where a child resides. So just make sure that, again, it's important that all team members come to the meeting prepared to share information and make decisions about the student's IEP. Each member of the IEP has a critical role in the IEP process and decision making needed to develop an IEP that provides FAPE. All required members are expected to attend the entire meeting. They can't leave during the middle of the meeting unless it's excused and it's in writing. So if somebody has to leave in the middle, then that has to go on the excusal notice. So I know that has not always been done in the past. So additional individuals who are currently providing general or specially designed instruction, support services, and whose input is needed for the development of a new or amended IEP. Additional individuals who are not currently providing general or special design instruction, maybe they should be in attendance, but whose area of instruction or service will be discussed. And then additional individuals whose input is needed for the development of a new or amended IEP. So transportation director, guidance counselor, AEA consultant, or strategist. Remember, there's two ways that IEP team members can be excused. An IEP team member's attendance is not necessary. That means if their area of expertise is not being discussed. So if an IEP is being amended and speech language may be excused from the meeting, we just need to make sure that the parents know why. And then the IEP team member's area of expertise will be discussed and his input is provided within the writing. So in both situations, the parent and the school or AEA must agree in writing that the team member does not need to attend the IEP meeting. This agreement is documented on the agreement to excuse at the IEP meeting form. If the parent does not agree, then we just adjourn and we reschedule the meeting. If parents are going to be asked to sign the agreement to excuse attendance form at the IEP meeting, they should be contacted by phone or email prior to the meeting. I know that is the old way, but in May, they're saying that, no, we don't do that anymore. So I don't know, that's something we just kind of need to talk about. If you know somebody's not going to be there, it's always best to reschedule for a time when everybody can be there. Non-required participants who are part of an individual's IEP but cannot attend the IEP meeting should provide their input, and you can always just type that in. So if you have questions, I3 is the best place to look, and always ask your AEA rep. Thank you for your time.